Hey, what's going on, guys? Just wanted to do a quick update on Fubo. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've been on here, but I figured I'd just bank up some material to kind of talk about. But that said, the major theme I think now is I think we are getting past the worst of Fubo stock. Um, they had they've just gotten crushed the last 2 years with a lot of those other unprofitable growth stocks. So I do think the worst is behind them. It seems like they're continuing to make progress. They're executing well. They're not, out of the woods yet, but I think they're kind of positioned at a point where, it's going to be a stock that catches a lot of people's attention going forward. And, this is all kind of off the backs of the Q3 earnings, which were very strong. I think they'll continue to be strong in the coming quarters. Um, but that said, we can just kind of dive into it. And as always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. And with that, we'll dig into it. So just kind of looking in here, we've seen pretty strong performance over the last month since prior earnings. I honestly expected us to dip back down into the 250-ish range. But it's really, I mean, if we look at the last month here, we've really been holding above $3. Every time it kind of dips down to the $3 area, gains support and shoots back up. So I feel like, the fact that it's been holding in this range for as long as it has, I think that's pretty good news. But pretty solid performance over the last month. But I was just kind of looking back over the last like 6 months, and we really have a pretty solid upward trend here. I'm really hoping we can keep this momentum and hold it up there. Like I said, if you're a long, I've talked about it in some prior videos, but I do think this is a good one to hold for the long term. So I'm sitting on like 90,000 shares at this point. I'm just adding. If it dips down more, I can just add more for cheaper. But if there is a lot of volatility here. There's a lot of money to be made just from that side of things alone. But really, I think there's huge potential for this one long term. But we are continuing to see that upward trend. So I don't think we're going to dip back down to the dollar range. We could dip back down into the twos. It's possible. But the fact that we have been holding in this range, I think, is good news from where they're at now. And then just a couple things, news items I wanted to go through. So a couple things this week. They're all kind of small bits of news, but I figured I'd go through it. They have a partnership to add the world's first fully branded fast channel radio station to the streaming platform. I think this is great news. They're not going to add any subscribers from this, but it's, they're continuing to build out the product, add more, make it more marketable, more competitive. It looks like it's 10 stations. I think this is good news. Just to really, Fubo really is a premium product. And so for them to be able to be competitive in that space, they really need to offer something for everyone. So, their whole motto with come for the sports, stay for the entertainment. This is just another thing they're adding on. So I think it's good to show that they're kind of shifting and offering more on their platform. I think that's will look pretty good on them. The Sabres partner with Fubo to expand streaming to Southern Ontario. This one, and I think this one's interesting because I think a lot of their strategy is to kind of find niche markets. I don't really know much about the Buffalo Sabres. I'm a Boston fan, so I don't really know much about this team or much about their fan base or anything, but it sounds like it's been a while since it's been broadcast, since 2015, 2016 area. So I think this is interesting that they are trying to find these more niche markets where they know they can, maybe I don't know what their content costs are, but my I imagine that they'll probably get a good chunk of subscribers out of this, and it's probably a pretty cheap cheap thing to add for them. So they're essentially finding more of these niche programs and teams to kind of partner with where they can get cheaper, have cheaper costs associated with the broadcasts. And, I think it's just shows that they're trying to expand into other markets and kind of show, that they are offering more to a wider audience. They're kind of zeroing on these more niche shows and sports teams where they can, probably scoop up a handful of subscribers. And then it really keeps them, because if they're trying to watch these, Sabres games and they don't have anywhere else to watch it, they're stuck with Fubo. So I think it's probably a solid strategy on their side. And another thing I wanted to kind of jump into here, I'll try to keep this short. I know I kind of ramble on these pretty bad, but just I don't know if any of you are on the Fubo TV Reddit page, but they're the chief product officer, Mike Berkeley. He posts here a lot, and it's good that they're actually tied in with their user base. They're responding to issues. I know I don't have Roku, but I know they rolled out some updates to Roku, and they ended up reeling them back because there were a bunch of issues. So just the fact that they're tapped into their market and they know where the issues are and what they want to kind of fix and make their users happy. I think it's a good idea to just have that pulse on the market. Just kind of wanted to go through that. That's pretty much all I wanted to focus on this week. I'll try to post more if there's anything else you guys want to cover. Feel free to comment. Also, if you like and subscribe, that's a huge help to the channel. If it sucks, tell me it sucks. I know I ramble pretty bad on these, but thanks for watching. All right, see you.